All right, welcome everyone. Today we're diving into something pretty incredible from Sanatan Dharma, a day that's believed to have the power to literally change your life. We're talking about the Fruitful Fast.
But let me ask you something first. Can one single day, just 24 hours, really change your entire destiny? It sounds like something out of a legend, right? Well, that's the core idea behind the story we're about to get into. So our story kicks off with a prince, and not a very good one. He's a lost soul, and his life is about to hit rock bottom. So this is Prince Lumbaka. And look, he was far from the noble, heroic type you might be picturing. He was totally consumed by vice, doing all sorts of sinful things. His actions weren't just self-destructive, they were completely against the core principles of his kingdom. And a king can only put up with so much. Eventually, his own father had enough. In what must have been a heartbreaking decision, the king banished him. That's it. He was stripped of his title, his money, his home. Literally everything was gone in an instant. So he's cast out, completely alone, and just wanders into this deep, dark forest. Can you even imagine how he must have felt? Hopeless, ashamed, with absolutely nowhere to go. The forest was basically a mirror of the darkness he felt inside. But it's right here, in this place of total despair, that the story takes a wild, unexpected turn. This is where a completely unintentional act of devotion changes everything. Okay, so night is falling, it's getting freezing cold. The prince is starving, he's exhausted, and he collapses for shelter under this huge, ancient banyan tree. Now, these trees are considered sacred, but he probably had no idea, and even if he did, he wouldn't have cared at that point. And this is the really interesting part. He ends up fasting through the day and the sleepless night, right? But it wasn't because he was being pious or religious, not at all. It was just pure circumstance. He was too miserable, too cold, and had no food. He was fasting simply because he couldn't do anything else. And here's the kicker. The one day, this single day that he happens to be suffering under this tree, it just happened to be Saphala Ekadashi, one of the holiest, most powerful days of the year, and he had absolutely no clue. So this complete accident, set something truly miraculous in motion. Now we're going to shift from the story of the man to the power of the day itself, a moment of what you might call pure divine grace. So as the sun comes up, this divine voice booms from the heavens, and it tells the stunned prince that because he fasted on this sacred day, all his sins were forgiven. And not just that, his kingdom would be given back to him. Just wow. That's an incredible turnaround, right? And it brings up the big question, the one you're probably thinking right now. Why? What on earth made this one day so powerful? Let's dig in. Okay, so this is Saphala Ekadashi. It's the fruitful 11th day. It's a hugely important day in Sanatana Dharma dedicated to Lord Vishnu. And the name itself is the biggest clue. Saphala literally means fruitful or successful. The belief is that any devotion on this day yields these incredible, fruitful results, just like what happened with our prince. So Prince Lumbaka basically stumbled into his redemption by accident. But how do people observe this day on purpose? Let's take a look at the actual practice. First off, the timing is super specific. Saphala Ekadashi happens during the dark fortnight, that's when the moon is waning, in the lunar month of Pausha. For most of us, that usually lines up with December or January. For devotees, the observance really stands on four main pillars. First, of course, is observing a strict fast, but this time it's intentional. Then comes worship of Lord Vishnu, which involves offering specific prayers and chanting mantras. And finally, and this is super important, it's a day for practicing charity and showing compassion to others. So you see, it's about so much more than just not eating for a day. Every one of those pillars is designed to work together. The ultimate goal is to purify everything, your body, your mind, and your soul. And this all brings us to the real heart of the matter. Both the legend and the practice point to this really universal lesson about what success truly means. What's so cool about this is the dual nature of the fruits you get from this observance. On one side, you have worldly success. Believers hold that the fast can bring prosperity, help you achieve your goals, that kind of thing. But then there's the other side, the spiritual success, which is maybe even more profound. We're talking about cleansing past sins, becoming purer, and moving closer to ultimate liberation, or moksha. This really says it all, doesn't it? The belief is that this day can grant you success in both your worldly life and your spiritual journey. It's not one or the other. It's the whole package. So when you think about it, the story gives us this amazing paradox, right? Grace can find you completely by accident, like it did for the prince. But the actual practice teaches us that true, lasting fruit comes from intentionally planting seeds. It's all about making a conscious choice to act with dedication and compassion. And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. Prince Lumbaka's journey started by accident, but it led to real intentional change. So the question I'll leave you with is this: what fruitful seeds of action, whether they're big or small, can you plant in your own life, starting today?